is Monday, November 4th, and we are going to do a 3-card tarot card reading using the classic or traditional Rider-Waite tarot deck. I'm going to do a 3-card spread, and I typically read on a more intuitive level, and then when I'm all done at the end on the recap, I will usually explain what the cards mean on a more authentic tarot meaning or explanation, if I could say that. Oh boy. So the first card that we pulled, I said oh boy because I'm already thinking to myself, like, how did we just pull this card? We pulled this card not that long ago, actually. So I pulled the Fool as the first card in the reading this evening. The Fool starts the tarot for us. It's one of the major arcana cards. There are 22 cards in the major arcana, and the Fool is number 0, and it's also number 22. It's not labeled as number 22, but it starts us off and it finishes us off. So the Fool is about, what I'm feeling intuitively tonight, it's about kind of using that naivety, like being naive and being in the space of, you know, like when you don't know something, not only are you naive, but like you're a beginner to it, you're inexperienced. That sometimes it's better to not know anything. I remember when I was younger and I started my business as a young woman, there was a woman who owned a business in the same shopping center as my first location, and she would ask me often, many times actually, well, how old are you? You know, because I was such a beginner and I was inexperienced in being a business owner at that age. And I wanted so bad to be older at the time because I thought if I was older that she would take me seriously. The reason why I share that with you is the way the energy of this card that's coming up for us tonight, the way it's, you know, being introduced to us this evening, is that it's good to have that sense of being a beginner or that inexperience or being a bit naive, because sometimes when we don't know enough about something, we are a bit thirstier for life. We want to drink it all in, soak it all in, and we're like a sponge. We're looking for the knowledge and looking for the insight. So you may feel that there's something coming up for you right now, whether it's work or something with your home life, that you're looking at something from a fresh pair of eyes, something from being like inexperienced, if you will. But I would say, like, that's a good thing, not a bad thing. Like, use that naivety to your advantage. Also, there is a bit of a warning to this. The card is reversed, but there is a bit of a warning about making sure that you utilize this time to learn from being inexperienced so that you will gain new insight and new experience. And don't judge yourself for something that you're not completely aware of. So if you are taking on the role as, you know, maybe a new position at school or a new position at work, or maybe even a new role, let's say it's a new role at home, maybe you become, I'm just giving examples, like a step parent, or you're entering into a relationship with somebody who has kids, so you're not maybe their mom or their dad, and so that role is new for you. You know, soak it in and enjoy the process of you going through it, and don't judge yourself on a time frame of how long it should take for you to adjust to this new position, because you're coming in inexperienced, and that's a good opportunity to look at things, you know, with a whole new perspective, if you will. And the second card that we pulled is the Queen of Wands, which is really fitting to back up and support the energy of the Fool. What I'm feeling energetically about the Queen of Wands is kind of the energy of being like the matriarch or the patriarch of the family, the dictator, the ruler, the one who sets the rules, the one who sets the tone for the household. So this could even be for work. It could be like the boss, the manager, the supervisor. This person is coming in this like role of being in charge and this leadership role, but they themselves are going through a bit of crossroads So you may be looking to somebody for insight, and you may not necessarily find it, sorry, you may not necessarily find it from the first person you lay eyes on for that wisdom, because it might be that the very first person you meet is not giving you what you need in the workplace or in your home life. And I just don't want you to get discouraged that you're saying, okay, well, the tarot card said we pulled the Fool, and I'm going to be, looking at this from a fresh pair of eyes and a new perspective, and it's not the first person that you connect with. So just know that this person who is coming in as like this dictator role or this leadership role is going through something as well. So either A, it may not be that you're going to get it from them specifically, or B, you'll need to wear kid gloves as they go through what they need to go through before they're able to then in return offer this insight for you and this knowledge for you. And the third card is another dictator card. Wow, that's really interesting. We pulled the Hierophant, which is a major arcana card. It's number 5 in the major arcana role. And this energy is about being, so this is so accurate, is not the first person. Now that we get the second card as the Hierophant, it's letting me know that the first person that you start to feel the insight from and the wisdom from is not the correct person. It's the second person. So keep that in mind. Whether it's a romantic relationship, a work relationship, or a school relationship, you are seeking out a new path and you're looking for someone to show it to you. But it's not always the first person you meet. It's telling me here in the tarot that it's the second person that comes in that's a little bit more subdued, maybe a little bit older, a little bit wiser. Not necessarily older in numbers of years, but older in like personality. Maybe this person's an old soul. Maybe you just feel like they have the great wisdom of the white sage. But this person is very passionate about sharing energy and sharing insight. So you're going to learn a lot of information from this person.
Bella, Bonnie Page.
Bella, come here. Bella. Sorry. It's...
Bella, Bonnie Page.
Ay. Come here, Bella. Oh, you got her?
Go. Not Lacey. Go.
Did you get him or no?
Technical difficulties. The Hierophant is someone who likes to share the insight and doesn't like to be in the spotlight. That's what I'm feeling significantly in the role of it more intuitively.
Grab that sniper rifle. I already got one. Oh, shit.
My credit card is right here.
You said 220s up there?
Yeah.
They think they're so funny, these kids, because I tried to pay for dinner and they're walking through the house with cash. Sorry. The Hierophant is somebody in the role of the tarot tonight, is somebody who wants to share with you because they gained knowledge the same way you're going to gain knowledge from them, and they're very passionate about sharing it with you. They tend to be people that they tend to host the relationship with people that also are like you, thirsty for knowledge. I'm so distracted, I keep messing up. And I'm totally live and they're going to kill me. It's one thing if my Instagram people see me mess up because they know me on a personal level, but I feel bad for the YouTube people. Anyway, so the Hierophant role of this person that's going to be giving you insight is also looked upon by other people like you that are thirsty for that same knowledge. So you may start to see, thank you so much, you may start to see other people flocking towards this person for insight. So you'll realize that in a sense they are going to be like a mentor or a teacher for you, maybe even have a little bit of that shaman energy. And do you want to come say hello? Yes, you do. Just walk by. Just come by and say hey. I decided not to. because I felt like this was unhealthy. Don't you want to just come say hey? Just say hey. Come on, cutie.
They have 2 different branches in here. I don't know the difference. I figured you do.
Okay, let me finish this. First, come say hi. You don't? It's my really cute daughter-in-law, and she doesn't want to come say hi.
Are you gonna eat? No?
Okay, so I'm going to show you the cards that we pulled this evening. The Fool is the first card that we pulled in reverse.
I just eat fries.
The second card is the Queen. Your food didn't come?
It did. I don't want to eat without.
The second card is the Queen of Wands. And the third card is the Hierophant. So the cards do support one another tremendously. The Hierophant is supporting the Queen of Wands, and the Queen of Wands is supporting the Fool, because before we turned those other cards over, we were discussing that the Fool was going to be somebody who was kind of like pioneering out on this new adventure. And in the way of the tarot, the Fool is someone who's like kind of like setting off into a new beginning. They show this image of this person, whether it's male or female, kind of walking off to a cliff. But it looks really dramatic because they're showing like the sun, and they're showing like the clouds, and they're showing, you know, kind of like the land. But we don't know if that's like a foot off the ground. It could literally be like a curve, like 8 inches off the ground, right? So we don't know how dramatic this new beginning is. It may not be, you know, something life-changing like a breakup or a separation or a divorce or getting fired. It may not be that dramatic. It might just be, you know, just like I said before, like you're thirsty for some new knowledge. And then the Queen of Wands came up, and I was saying that this was like the role of a dictator, but that they themselves are going through a hard time, so they may not be the right person for you to go to for advice right now. And we had pulled that card after we read what the Fool meant. And in the way of the tarot, the Queen of Wands is somebody who kind of like rules their domain. You know, we ultimately used to see the king as being like the person in charge, but really the queen kind of like runs the castle and runs the king. And then we pulled the third card, which is the Hierophant, which is somebody who is more, pardon me, like a leader and a teacher or a professor, this person who shares great knowledge and insight, is very like, is a great speaker, is very detailed, organized in the way that they're communicating. And so people are so drawn to them that when you meet that first person who's going through something, you'll realize that that's not the right person to go to for advice. And ultimately, when you see the second person, you'll know that that is the right person, because you'll notice how everybody flocks to this person for insight. And also with the Hierophant in the way of the tarot, it's kind of like the energy of like the Pope. How there's like devotees that are, and we pulled the Hierophant many times this summer, but how they're like devotees and they're so interested in you know, hearing what he or she has to say. So that is your 3-card tarot card reading from your traditional Rider-Waite tarot deck. I thank you for coming on and hanging out with me and dealing with our technical difficulties. I'm here on the Army base. I will be here tomorrow night. I'll do the reading maybe before they come home from work, and we'll spend a little more time together. So tomorrow's Tuesday. I'll probably be on here around 8 o'clock your time. Okay, guys?